Hi, the Lee Farnell here, and we're on Leading Your Best Life. But today I want to talk about something that's been playing on my mind, having worked with a number of clients recently, both helping them and also myself, the area of self-limiting beliefs, beliefs we have that stop us getting where we want to go, beliefs that actually sabotage our success. So I've been plotting and planning and thinking about how this works, and certainly studying the masters as to how masters help people with beliefs that are holding them back, where the person, you, me, are fully capable of achieving their goals and dreams, but it's our brain, what is between our ears, the thought processes holding us back. Here's what to do. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You know, there's that great old pyramid model that says be, do, have. The way we think shapes what we do, and what we do shapes what we have, and what we have, of course, then shapes how we are in terms of be and identity. So at the heart of it, and this is what Maxwell Maltz showed in Psycho-Cybernetics, the book Psycho-Cybernetics, which he's a plastic surgeon, and he said I'd give people, new breasts, or I'd do plastic surgery and get rid of scars on their faces or their bodies, but they still saw themselves as scarred. So even though physically no one would have known anything about their past situation, that past still hung around. He said, so until the self-image changed, they couldn't achieve their new goals. He said, when a person's self-image does not support their goals, they will not achieve their goals. So you want to have money or relationships or health or fitness, it starts with a new self-image, a new set of beliefs, or more to the point, going after those self-limiting beliefs, how identity and beliefs are so tied in with each other. So I thought I'd just check, what are some of the self-limiting beliefs that you, me, others have? Here are some popular ones. If we're talking about money and business, self-limiting beliefs around money and I don't deserve to be wealthy. I'm not good enough to be successful. Money is hard to earn and even harder to keep. Money doesn't grow on trees. Or certainly I grew up with that one. I need to sacrifice. I need to be in pain. I need to sacrifice my happiness if I'm going to be successful. You can't be successful and happy at the same time. A bit like the starving artist. You've got to be starving and struggling before you make it in art. I'll never make more than I do now. I've reached the top. I'm too old to make any more money or change in business. I'll have to do everything myself if I'm going to succeed, and I just don't have the time. Wealthy people are greedy or corrupt. I mean, you can see it in the Bible, the love of money. It's the love of money is the root of all evil. Or money's the root of all evil. As they say, it is the love of money. Being besotted by it versus, money as a vehicle to actually make a difference. But anyway, taking risks always leads to failure, and I've failed so many times, I just can't fail anymore. You start to get this? Note, you'll start to see words like everything, always, never. I'm not smart enough to run a successful business. I don't have the background. My family weren't in business. You can see, you can play with it. Now, just imagine these thoughts going around and around in your head all day, every day, or even for some part of the day, particularly when a problem comes up, and certainly over time, that's happened to me where things have happened. You go, oh, no. And as NLP, and I'm going to start talking about Neuro Linguistic Programming, because Neuro Linguistic Programming is such a fantastic body of knowledge as to how the human being, how the human body, how the human mind works in making decisions, and not only that, how not only influencing ourselves and others, but changing ourselves and others, changing. I can't charge more for my services. My clients wouldn't, the market just wouldn't bear anything higher. So you go, where do you get all this BS, this bullshit, this self-limiting bullshit? Coming back to NLP, great change facilitators, Virginia Satir and Milton Erickson and a whole range of others, studied this the internal representations and understanding. Now, one of the principles of NLP says state, story, strategy. That if you're in a bad state, a negative state, and again, you start talking about these things and start, I'm not wealthy enough, I can't charge anymore, I can't afford to. First of all, you're putting yourself in an unresourceful state, a state where you're not feeling like you're able to take on the world or even get out of bed. Then you start telling yourself stories because you start thinking of time after time where I didn't succeed here, and then I didn't succeed there, and then I tried to charge more there and it didn't work. You start telling yourself stories that only reinforces the state, and then you start making dumb decisions like, I'm going to give up then. You make a strategic decision coming from an unresourceful state. Dumb move. I had a friend of mine the other week, we were helping out, and he was in a very unresourceful state and started talking about major business and life decisions. I said, you are not in the state to make those decisions. Wait for a couple of days, get out of this state, start feeling healthier. I think he had COVID, he had a whole range of family issues, and he'd been wallowing and stewing and cogitating and ruminating on all of these negativities. Then he started making what I called very poor decisions. So I said, pull back on that decision, which he did, and as I worked at it, he thanked me a few days later. Look, I'm glad I didn't go through with some of those things I was going to go through with. So it's about being aware enough to realise that when you've got these kind of self-limiting beliefs running through your head, that's not the time to be making decisions. And not only that, that's the time to be sharing some of these and even having some of your good friends challenge you. That's why I like the Are You OK day but it's not Are You OK, I'm OK. No. How are you really? I've noticed your behaviour where you've been, or I haven't seen you for what's really going on. Come on, share with me. I'm OK. Bang, shuts it down. Are you really OK? But the point is this. One, be aware and hear yourself having self-limiting conversations, self-limiting beliefs. Let's talk about here relationships. I don't deserve love or respect. If I speak my truth, people are going to reject me. It's impossible to find lasting, healthy relationships. People always let me down. I can't be vulnerable in relationships. I'm no good at relationships. I'm better off alone than risking getting hurt. I'm better off alone. People don't want to be with me. I'm not attractive, or people don't find me likable. I mean, listen to that bullshit, but I'm sure, you and I probably at the time have drifted in that. The point is, if that kind of thinking has gone on for more than about 2 or 3 days, you've got to do something about it. You've got to talk to a good friend. You've got to do some exercise. You've got to realise this is bullshit. And in fact, one of the responses is, thank you for sharing. I'm letting that thought float through down the river, float through to the keeper, as in cricket. It's not a fact. It's not a scientific fact, even though you can draw on 2 or 3 or 4 examples that might support it. It's not a helpful fact. And your thoughts are not locked in concrete. They're actually more plasticine than they are concrete. And then some of the data shows you have anywhere between 6,000 and 60,000 thoughts a day. So you start having 6,000 or even 3,000 or even 20,000 negative thoughts. The problem is you also start to develop neural pathways, negative neural pathways. That's not so helpful. So I keep wanting to jump straight to solution here, which is 1, meditation to bring down your fight or flight response, because talking negatively to yourself, I'm talking to myself as I'm saying this, by the way, talking negatively to yourself will bring up your flight or flight response. And what will start happening is you'll start to build neural pathways, because as Krebs' law says, the cells that fire together wire together. So the more often you are saying, I don't deserve love or respect, or, wealthy people are greedy and I don't want to be wealthy, or I'm no good with money, or whatever the self-limiting belief is, you'll start to build like a bigger bicep. You'll start to build a bigger neural pathway with a negative thought versus I'm challenging that thought. That's just not true. That's bullshit. Here's some sales negative ones. I'm not persuasive enough to close big deals. I can't sell. I could never be a salesperson. I'm only bothering people when I'm trying to sell to them. Sales is only for outgoing or aggressive or extrovert people, and that's not me. Rejection, I hate rejection. Rejection means I'm not good at sales. And no one's going to pay that much anyway for what I'm offering. It goes on and on. Health. I'll never be in shape. It's just genetics. I'm no good at sport. I hate exercise. I don't like sweating. I look bad in a leotard. I look bad in the gym. Think of all the bullshit that people, you and I or others, are capable of saying, versus it's good for me. Now, coming back to NLP, because I keep wanting to jump to solution here. Happiness. I don't deserve to be happy. If I put myself first, I'm being selfish. I'm not capable of really being happy. I've never really been happy. These limiting beliefs are mental barriers that stop people from reaching full potential. Of course they do, because they're like mental handbrakes. So a few things. NLP, at its very base level, what we do is we take those beliefs and convert them into way more positive beliefs. We install them. I'll never be in shape, it's just genetics. Rubbish. If I exercise regularly, if I have an exercise habit and eat and watch my diet, I'm going to get healthier and fitter every week. And if I do it for 30 to 60 to 90 days, I'm going to change my life. Yes, that's a far more positive belief, and again, we talk about affirmation. You say that to yourself 20, 50, 100 times a day. So the name of the game, if I were you, and I'm going to do this for myself as well, I'm going to write down 10 to 20 of the beliefs and self-limiting beliefs that go through my head, and I'm going to convert them into positive affirmations. Then I'm going to record those affirmations on an MP3, and I'm going to listen to them with my eyes closed at least twice a day for 30 days. That's what I'm going to do, because we've actually been doing this in the area of goal setting and the area of imagined futures. And I've done this, I recommend it to my clients. There's actually a worksheet we've got called, what do we call it? Ink it, think it, ink it, and manifest it. In terms of the manifestation, where what we do is we talk about it, write out our goals, our relationship goals, our health goals, our financial goals, our business goals, our sales goals, and then we talk about it as if it's actually happening, imagining as if it's actually happening, and recorded that, and I've put it into a 2-hour MP3. In fact, I think it goes for 10 minutes, but then I've put 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. So it becomes 2 hours, and I listen to that as I'm going to sleep. I've also been going down the beach and meditating in the morning with it, and I must say, it's amazing what it does in terms of rewiring your thinking. In other words, we say the future is now, bringing the future into the now. And therefore we change the be, do, have, because the beingness, your beingness, who you are, what you're thinking, is changing. The vibrations you're putting out into the universe, but also the energetics, how you actually feel in yourself as you start saying, this is happening now. I'm earning this amount of money. This amount of money is coming into my bank account every day or every week. This is what's happening to my health. This is what's happening to my relationships. This is the type of house I'm living in. This is the type of friendship and circle I have. It becomes real. Just as the exercise which said, imagine biting into a lemon, you immediately start to taste the lemon, but it's just imaginary. The same being when it's just imaginary. The Bulgarians in sport used to call this autosuggestion, where you imagined running the race or swimming the race and winning the race, playing the game, where you've played the game and won and played it well, calmly, with your peak strength, talk about state, story, strategy, in peak performance state. You've imagined being in peak performance state before you even do the race. And as Michael Jordan, the great legendary basketballer, said, I never played a game on the court that I hadn't already played in my head. He used the power of imagination and imagery, and of course part of that was then in terms of self-belief. I am the best. I am the great. Look at Muhammad Ali. I am the greatest. They've imagined being the greatest long before they were the greatest. And of course, then they did the work and they trained in accordance with that, which is the same as Ronaldo says, I believe my greatest strength is my mind. My mind, when I set my mind to it, I make it happen. I do more work. There's plenty of people. Will Smith, the actor, says, I will outwork anyone. While they're sleeping, I will be on the treadmill. While they're sleeping, I'll be in the gym. While they're sleeping, I'll be doing my lines. That is why I will be better, greater than the rest. Arnold Schwarzenegger's the same. I mean, it goes on and on. At the same time, the same principles, the same science works for you and I. So write down that top 10 or 20 limiting beliefs you have about relationships, money, about business, sales, whatever you think's holding you back in your life, and then write down the positive affirmation, the positive, the reverse of that, the positive version of that negative. Happiness is something that happens to other people, not me. No, I'm capable of happiness. I love being happy. I can be happy. I have been happy, and I will be happy again. In fact, I'm happy right now. How am I happy? To be grateful. The relationship between gratitude and happiness. That what are the things I'm grateful? Be grateful. Start finding. I'm grateful for being alive. I'm grateful for breathing. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for the roof over my head. I'm grateful for the fun things I did last weekend. I'm grateful for the fun things I'm doing today and tomorrow. I'm grateful for my health. Gratitude, happiness. What am I happy about? I'm happy about so many of those things. Where attention goes, energy flows, and results show. So take responsibility for that. You want to find out more about this, you want some coaching in this area to help you confront, deal with your self-limiting beliefs, then reach out, touch base. In fact, what I might do is I'll send you the checklist of the template that I'll create for this in terms of negative belief, positive belief, and even if you ask for it, I'll give you the worksheet on converting goals to affirmations and then recording that. I want you to be not only happy but lead your best life. And if you want that, if you're committed to it, I mean, you better be more committed to it than I am. Well, even if you have a desire to shift and change where you're at right now, that's what we do at Lee Funnell Best Business. We've got the systems, we've got the tools. Come and join us. Let us help you put wings on yourself, put wings on your business, put wings on your happiness, put wings on your relationships to lead your best life. Thanks for listening. See you next time.